We have come to our final award of the evening. The Walter Payton Award was created in 1987, named for the Pro Football Hall of Famer who changed the game. Walter Payton put Jackson State University on the map in the late 1970s. He destroyed the record books, 63 touchdowns over his 4 years, running for exactly 3,600 yards. The nickname Sweetness originated at Jackson State, twice over selected as the Black College Player of the Year in 1973 and 1974, along with All-American status. He would go on to be selected with the 4th overall pick by the Chicago Bears. What in the world were the other 3 teams thinking by not taking him in 1975 on his way to a Hall of Fame career and a Super Bowl championship on one of the most popular teams ever, the Super Bowl Shuffle Bears of 1985. Payton passed away in 1999. Seeing his photos here, even though the last couple days, highlights brings me back to immediate memories of his ability to either run over, through, under, anyway, past offenders. We are tremendously honored to have his brother, a pretty good player in his own right. Eddie Payton is here tonight, everybody, to present the award in his brother's name.
What about the Vikings?
First off, I am from Chicago, huge Bears fan. Bear down, go Bears. But it's great to have you here and be a part of this FCS Awards banquet. What has it meant for you? This isn't your first time being at this awards ceremony and just keeping your brother's legacy alive.
Well, it's hard to put into word what this means because I've been to a lot of awards, been in a lot of banquets, but nothing means as much to me as this award because it highlights what Walter meant to the game.
When you talk about Walter and what he did mean to the game, what was his biggest legacy, his biggest impact? I mean, there were so many, it's probably hard to put it into a list. But from your perspective as his brother, what did you see from your lens?
Well, I got a little closer than most people. And like I tell people, Walter is the second best Payton ever run a football.
This is the 39th year of this award. It's regarded as the Heisman of the FCS. And over the course of time, this award continues to develop, and great names have won this award and have gone on to do incredible things in pro football. How have you watched this award grow and gotten to know some of those award winners and gotten to learn their journey and their story as well?
It's been an unbelievable journey for me because I get to shake these guys' hands, tell them, get their autographs, and come back. As an ex-football player, being around other great athletes is the greatest thing that you can do.
And we don't want to dim your accomplishments as well. I mean, you are an incredible football player as well. This sport teaches young men so much about life, about discipline, about being able to go into the world and make an impact. What have you learned from football that you watch some of these other young guys take with them?
Well, you look at these guys and you know they are our future. They are our future from day one. They don't know it, but they will. It's nothing about the money that you will make. It's nothing about the prestige that you will have. It's about what you've been able to do to this game, the game that you love.
Getting to talk to some of these student athletes absolutely here today. What have been some of your favorite moments of just tonight being here? And obviously, guys look up to you. Guys look up to Walter Payton and being able to share some of your guys' stories.
Well, again, athletes are just fans. I mean, the greatest athletes are the greatest fans that you'll ever meet. They will ask kids who are coming out of college for their autographs. Please take a picture with me. We want to be with those people. We appreciate what they've done. what they're doing, and what they have become.
Walter left an unbelievable legacy. You were close to him. Can you share one of your favorite memories that best embodies who he was and the impact that he made on anybody that he touched?
Well, the thing about Walter that's so impressive to me, because he was a great running back for a guy who was just the second best running back in his family. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But again, if you knew the man, you realize that he had a heart bigger than this room. And every time he got an opportunity to show people what he could do, he did. It didn't matter if he was playing Grambling, Alabama State, Fairleigh Dickinson. It was an opportunity for him to show the people who were paying money to watch him how good he was.
We appreciate you so much for being here. We are so grateful that you attend and you continue to shine a light on Walter Payton and FCS football in general. So thank you so much for being here.
Is that it? You're a lot taller than me.
That was great. Our three finalists put up some eye-popping numbers for their teams this season. No surprising, all three are quarterbacks, meaning a single caller will win this award for the 10th year in a row and for the 21st time out of the last 22 years. Our first finalist is Taron Dickens from Western Carolina University, who had some of the most staggering numbers of the season despite playing in just 9 games. The 5'11" sophomore made his debut in week 4, and the wait was worth it. 582 yards and 6 touchdowns against Samford, the first of 2 games where Dickens would throw for over 500 yards. He racked up 38 touchdown passes to just 2 picks, throwing for 3,500 yards at a 74% completion percentage. An electric player, Furman had a 7-2 record when Dickens played, including nearly beating the SoCon champs Mercer, falling 49-47 to the Bears. Watch this one. In a game, there was pretty good quarterback play there with our guy Atkinson playing as well. Ladies and gentlemen, from Western Carolina, Taron Dickens. The Missouri Valley Football Conference has produced the Walter Payton winner 2 out of the last 5 seasons. And we have 2 reps from what some believe is the best league in the FCS here tonight. Youngstown State has a proud FCS heritage, winners of 4 national championships in the 1990s. They've been out of the spotlight largely for the last decade plus until this season. Beau Brungard put the Penguins back on the map in the biggest way possible. The 6-foot Ohio native was known around the valley for his dual ability last year, but his junior season went into the stratosphere. Brungard didn't have a game where he didn't score a touchdown, whether it was passing or rushing. He grabbed headlines after he scored 4 touchdowns against national power South Dakota State, then followed up with a 5-touchdown effort and a comeback road win against the team that's going to be playing here not too far from here in Illinois State. The month of November was video game numbers for Brungard, scoring 26 combined touchdowns and leading the Penguins back to the FCS playoffs. His highlights got on SportsCenter. That Illinois State game that I was talking about, first time a player in FCS history had 300 yards passing and 200 yards rushing. And for good measure against Murray State, he had a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. I don't know if he took out the trash that day, probably. He was named the Missouri Valley Offensive Player of the Year, becoming the first Penguin quarterback to win the award. Ladies and gentlemen, from Youngstown State, Beau Brungard. Cole Payton was in the unusual position of a player waiting 4 years to get a chance to play at the school he originally signed at. That's unusual these days. Nobody waits a year, let alone 4. Payton sat behind Walter Payton runner-up Cam Miller at North Dakota State, biding his time to become the starter. Once Payton took over the reins, he showed his athletic ability. His 6'3" frame leaping over a defender from the Citadel left me speechless and plenty others in the first Bison game of the season. The question surrounding Payton was his ability to throw the ball. He answered that with 348 yards and 4 touchdowns in his third game, the third most in a Bison game in school history in a rout of Southeast Missouri State. He put his stamp on the Bison season in a nationally televised game on the road at South Dakota State. He was flawless during that game, throwing for 237 yards and running for another 137 and 4 touchdowns in a 38-7 rout of the Jackrabbits. He finished with over 3,500 combined yards and 29 touchdowns and leading NDSU to an unbeaten regular season and a #1 playoff seed. He was runner-up for the Valley Offensive Player of the Year and a first-team All-American, joining Cam Miller as a Bison Walter Payton finalist. Ladies and gentlemen, from North Dakota State, Cole Payton. Now, as if the words weren't impressive enough, the video highlights of these guys are pretty darn good. Pretty good players there. All right, here we go. The 39th winner of the Walter Payton Award is voted upon by our prestigious group of voters from Youngstown State University, Beau Brungard. Taron Dickens from Western Carolina finished second. Cole Payton finished third in the balloting. Beau's dad, Mark, was a quarterback at Youngstown, won a couple of championships. I don't know if you got bragging rights yet, but this is pretty darn good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Beau, congratulations. A tremendous season. And you heard from Eddie Payton, a guy who has just continued to give tremendous advice to student athletes. You now have the Walter Payton prestigious award. Initial thoughts as you were up against some phenomenal competition, incredible body of season of work that was able to take home this award tonight. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, I'm just so honored to be able to receive this and be able to go against 2 great players. And I just got to say, all glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You know, He's blessed me in so many ways throughout this year, but more importantly, you know, He gives me a hope that goes so much further than the game of football. So all praise and glory to Him. And, you know, it goes a lot further than just me getting the award. You know, my name might be on it, but it goes to show my O-line, you know, the players around me, my coaches. Coach Phillips taking a chance on me. You know, he was my only offer out of high school. So, you know, it's so much bigger than just me.
You mentioned that the only offer out of high school, Youngstown State, a place where you do have a legacy. Your father played here. What does it mean to you to be able to live out your father's legacy, but also you've created your own legacy? You're not just in the shadow of your father. You've done something super special. And so how have you been able to take this year and make a name for yourself outside of just your father?
Yeah, I was proud to be able to play for, where my dad played, but I did want to create my own legacy. And like I said, Coach Phillips was the only offer I had out of high school. But also, I wanted to play for YSU. That's home for me. I'm 15 minutes down the road, so I guess I really didn't have a choice. But yeah, it was just so awesome. God aligned a path for me to be able to play at Youngstown State, and He gave me this platform. So I've just been truly blessed.
And obviously, you are creating your own legacy outside of your father, but Youngstown State has a very special place in your family's home. What has it been like to be able to play college football, to be able to live out your Division I football dreams at a place that means so much to your family and is so close to home?
Yeah, like we already said, my dad played, and so it means a lot to our family. But if you've ever been to Youngstown or you've been to a game, you just know it's a football city, and you see the group that we brought here tonight and how many people come, and so there's just there's so much support in Youngstown for football, and football means a lot to the city, and there's a long tradition and history of football in the city. And so just for me to be able to play a piece in that history and try to create some history for the program, it really is special.
As a young kid, you probably went to many YSU games. You grew up a fan. Could you have ever imagined that this is where your career would take you? It would take you to playing at your father's alma mater, to cementing your own legacy, and now to taking home the Walter Payton Award.
Yeah, it really is crazy to see how this all happened, and I never would have thought this would be it. And it just goes to show what God can do and where He can place you. And I got to say thank you to my brothers for beating me up when I was little and helping me out. My dad coached high school football, and so I hung out every day at his practices, and going to high school football games on Friday nights and going to YSU games on Saturday. So I spent all my childhood around the game of football. But to be able to play on this stage and get this award, it just means so much to me.
26 passing touchdowns this season, 27 rushing touchdowns. You even hauled in a 50-yard receiving touchdown. Take me through this year and what allowed you to be such an effective and efficient quarterback.
Yeah, all those stats are, they have my name on it, but it's so much more than me. It starts with my offensive line. I try to take care of those guys, and they do everything for me. They're great. Coach Yursich coming in this past year, and just allowing me to grow as a player, and Coach Tomzak always being around. They've helped me grow so much as a player. And so I have so many weapons around me, receivers, running backs. They make my job easy. So these stats might have my name on it, but it's so much more than that. It takes a combined effort.
And you're not done yet. You just announced you'll be spending your final year at Youngstown State, playing where you grew up, playing for your home team. What has this community, this group meant to you that made you want to finish out where you started?
Yeah, it's home to me, and a lot of people might call me crazy for not taking a chance and going somewhere else, but it's home for me, and just seeing the support of people that rallied behind me and the excitement, of the community when I announced I'm staying. There's no other place I'd want to play for, and so I really am proud to call myself a Penguin.
Well, congratulations. We can't wait to see what is in store for you next year, and you have definitely made Youngstown community proud tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.